just got back from the gym, and while I was there, I was passionately thinking about manifestation, how it really sounds like a get rich quick scheme. And so many people are on board and excited about like, wait, how do I get the life that I want? How do I do what I always want to do? Well, in comparison to the gym, I feel like it's like somebody looking at their body and finally being told like, hey, there's a gym out there and you can look like the Rock. And we're like, oh my gosh, I can have this amazing body. And then there's like the reality of just like so many different perspectives on like, well, this is how you do it. This is how you do it. This is how you do it. And what frustrates me, some people go to the gym and they're like, this isn't for me. It doesn't really work. And they expect results immediately. They go and they're like, um, I can only lift like 2 pounds 20 times. And it's hard and it's easy to give up. Just to get yourself to the gym is a one part of it. And then let's say you don't know what you're doing. And so you're like, I need a health and fitness coach. And then they start explaining not just how you move your body, but how you think and how you eat. All of it is really important. And what a lot of fitness coaches that I've spoken to is they're like, it's like 80% diet. Honestly, it was amazing to think that based on how I ate, I got the body that I wanted in a really short amount of time because I was already lean to start with. But to be honest, I've been working on my diet for over a decade. So, really, did I get a fit body really quick? No, no. Um, because I was working on other areas. I've had 5 children in that time, and there were times where my body was lean, but it was weak. It actually wasn't strong. And there are still things that I'm still working on repairing in my body. For example, the diastasis recti, which is the splitting of the abdomen. And those are coming back together. They used to be like over that far apart, and now they're like this far apart. So progress. So I want to bring it up this way. We look at a ship, think of it as your body. It's like here we really want, we're trying to go somewhere, but people might focus a lot on the mind, just like, well, this little piece here, this is the rudder, this is what steers the ship, but it's actually right up here. You stand at the helm and you steer that ship, and that requires focus. You let go of that helm and it might be 7% of the ship, it might be a really small percent, like 7% is our thoughts. As here we have the body of the ship, it's just like going. Then we have the sails. The sails catch the wind, that's our emotions. And there's different kind of sailboats. Some are like operate from the heart. I feel like the sails are the heart of the ship. It's what gives it momentum. But if you're not angled right, it's not going to catch the momentum. That's the emotion, that's the energy in motion. And so what I love is understanding that like mentally we might stay focused or we might get distracted. We might not even be thinking. We might think we're on autopilot when really nobody's steering the ship up there. And we're just wondering why we're wandering out at sea. Well, then what do we do when like a storm comes up and like something outside of us is like, we don't know how to handle it if we're not practicing managing our ship. So manifestation is so much more than like think right. It's not just about steering your ship. I have to work through this internal resistance. Manifestation is like the mental and emotional gym and physical gym of creating what you want, and you create it on the inside before it can be produced on the outside. So I'm doing my best to summarize these profound concepts, because I've been a skeptic, like, can I really create the life that I love? And so for months I've been refining my physiology, my nervous system to be comfortable with a totally different lifestyle. Because the truth is, those that go to the gym might think that they're going there to get fit, but just like a diet, you do it. If you quit the diet, you go right back. I don't want to create a new life and go back to where I'm at. I want to go and I want to stay there. And so the only thing that really keeps people successful is when they start going to the gym, for example, and they realize this isn't a diet. This isn't something temporary. This isn't like get my body and then let go. You have to maintain it. It's a lot easier to maintain than it is to create. Like a lot of people spend over a decade getting the body that they've always wanted, but it's consistency. It goes to the point where you forget about what you're doing and it's just a part of you. I just eat this way. I just exercise this way. And now I don't even think about it. And I have the body and the life that I love. But it didn't start that way. So If you go to the gym and you're like, this doesn't work for me, and you drop the weights and you leave, or you go eat a salad and you're like, that's gross, this doesn't work for me, you're never going to get those physical results. Same with manifestation. It is not a get rich quick scheme. Neither is dieting a get healthy scheme. It is a lifestyle. It's something that you literally have to decide, am I willing to change forever for the life that I love? Because if you resist the change internally, no matter what you do externally, it will not last. It won't last. You need to stay focused. You need to be holding, I don't care if it's the 7% mental energy, which honestly isn't very much. It's just like every day, it needs to be a commitment to go to the gym. So this last month, okay, so I've been really on doing all these other things. The gym and creating YouTube videos was not one of those things. It was, oh, I'm staying up all night helping deliver babies as a doula or as a midwife and doing retreats and taking care of my kids and doing all these fun, amazing things. And I was just packed, like one thing after another, busy, busy, busy. And it was amazing. But I didn't show up in some ways for myself, and I got burned out because part of my lifestyle is going to the gym, and that releases serotonin and endorphins for me and helps me be happy and show up here, and it blows me away. And yeah, I ran my 5K this morning, but it was a lot harder than it needed to be because I took a break. Manifestation is about your physiology. It's all internal. And then recognizing what are the things that I need to do differently for the life that I want, because it's a lifestyle. If part of manifesting the life that I love includes meditating every day, you bet I need to prioritize that. When I do that, I notice huge differences in what I focus on. It's the helm. It's steering my ship. It's like, this is where I'm going. And then when I do that, guess what aligns? My emotions, the sails. And when the wind blows, oh, it's taken me. It's taken me in the right direction. You cannot quit. It has to be the part of you, because if you quit, you can't keep it. The body, the relationship, the job, you have to keep being that person. You have to train your physiology, and you have to be prepared of, what do I do with the emotions when they come up? Because that's your resistance. That is the, what is it called? That's your weight. That's the weights of the gym. That, can you do that next rep? You don't gain that, like, you don't gain that muscle that you're trying to grow until you do one more than you thought you could. You don't gain that better paying job or that better relationship until you work through the emotions and go one step further than you thought you could. And letting go of whether it's that trigger that doesn't make any sense of like, this person's amazing, but I can't stand that they leave their socks out. It's like, how can you have that conversation? Because what happens, and what I've done in my own relationships, is I gave up on asking for what I needed in the relationship. Was I giving up on the relationship? No, I was giving up on my own needs. How many times in your life are you giving up on yourself, on your own needs? Yeah, I need this, but I just can't have it. That's the resistance. That is your weight. And use it to get where you want to go, rather than seeing it as like, it controls my life. See it as an opportunity. It's like, okay, what is there for me that I need to learn from? Because that's the power in it. So like, now when emotions come up, especially when I'm focusing on getting somewhere, I'm like, okay, this is the gym. This is just weight. What do I need to do with it? Because I'm working through it. I'm not going to let it rule my life anymore, because that's where my life has been. I'm familiar with that, and I'm done with that. I'm moving on. Don't let the current of the water stop you. Don't let your environment. It's just like, okay, yeah, it's there. I want to get out of this water. What do I need to do? It's the ship that gets out of the water, wherever it is. If it's in choppy water, it's got to steer its way through. It's got to get through the storms. And sometimes we need coaches. Sometimes we don't. Sometimes we need books or information. It's just like, oh my goodness, I've never faced this situation before. What do I do? Well, do you let it run you, or do you decide to run you? Are you learning how to live, or just being told what to live? And who are you adhering to? Believe it or not, what influences have you adopted? So many of us, like, we're just a byproduct of our environment, and other people's thoughts and feelings and beliefs just piled into us, crammed into us as a child. And then suddenly we're like, becoming an adult is like I don't like, it doesn't matter if you go to the actual gym or not, but mentally and emotionally, physiologically, everything that you respond to and react to doesn't have to be what runs your life. It is running your life. But what are you going to do when you're like, I don't like how I handled that situation. I need to do things differently. You can change your physiology, which is your nervous system. Your nervous system releases all the chemicals of how you feel, which is the wind in your sails, which is going to take you where you want to go. And either you're going to let the wind take you somewhere, your emotions, and you're not going to be holding the helm and focused on, no, I'm in charge here. It can take you somewhere. Or you can be like, no, this is a lot of wind. This is a lot of momentum. Where do I want to go with this? So I have been skeptical about manifestation because I'm like, well, I don't see the results yet. Well, how overweight was I in my nervous system, in my mental and emotional capability to steer my ship, to focus on what I really wanted? It's like, I just need to keep going. This is just a part of my life. And it's amazing when one day you wake up and you're like, oh my gosh, I can see abs. Oh my goodness, like I'm living the life that I love. It becomes natural and second nature, but it's not something that happens overnight. But if you did get the life that you love, would you be upset if it took 10 years? It is so worth putting in the effort, the time in the gym, whether that's your meditations, whether that's positive affirmations, whether that's intentionally focusing on the books that you're reading, the information that you're consuming, because that is the diet. The information you consume mentally is like the food that you're eating is 80% of the work. You can write your own script. You can listen to other people's. There's amazing stuff out there. I'm doing what works for me. I don't want to look like The Rock when I go to the gym. He looks great. He's created the life that he loves. And that's another thing about manifestation is people, you see their life and you're like, I want what they have. No, you want the life that you want. What is the life that you want to create? Because when I go to the gym, I'm going to look different than somebody else. And that's okay. I'm going for reasons for me because I want to feel good. I want to show up better in life and for the people that I love. And it's perfect because you want to be the best version of you. Who are you? What do you bring to the table? What are you going to look like at your best self? What lights you up? And to be honest, like some of the hardest parts for me is being like, what if I choose the wrong thing? What if I'm wasting my time? And the truth is, the more I've been just focusing on, I have a feeling of what I want. I don't like, I can, like visuals do come to me, but it's symbolic. Like it may not be literal. And that's frustrating to me because I'm like, well, I wanted this thing to be exactly like that. It's just like, well, I don't look like this other person that I visualized, or my version of that when I went to the gym. I look like me, but the feeling is the same. So tap into your gift. Do you feel things? Do you see things? Does it need to be really logical? And then eventually they all align. And guess what? That whole ship is going to go to the same place. The sails aren't going where the ship ain't going. Neither is the rudder or the helm. Like they're all connected and they all go together. So figure out what floats your boat. Everybody looks different. What matters is, are you getting where you really want to go in life? So it's powerful because it's like getting out of the areas in your life where you felt trapped. But it takes time. Are you willing to do it for you? Or are you going to give up? Because if you do it for you, it is a lifestyle, life-changing experience. And trust me, it doesn't matter how long it takes, it's worth it. So, encouraging you to stick it out for you, for your loved ones, for your family, for your friends, for the gifts that you have to bring to the world, because they're unique and we need you. Love you.